Hello, everybody. Phenomenal Sir coming at you with the start of a brand new run of Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire was the first Super Nintendo game I ever owned. It was a really fun experience for me as a young kid, getting to actually play a game that was based in story and character development rather than jumping and shooting for the first time. And I'm always excited to be playing more Breath of Fire. Hey, VDoof, how's it going? So we're bringing back a mega classic at the request of Tom, and yeah, let's get into it. Pay no attention to the arrow floating in the sky. And Breath of Fire 1 and 2 were released on the Game Boy Advance many years later, but we are playing the original Super Nintendo version. So there's going to be people who might be familiar with this game, might be like, wait, the title screen looks wrong, or the character art doesn't look right, or whatever. It's because I'm playing the original version and not the Game Boy Advance, which I think most people are probably more familiar with. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we'll just go Ryu. We'll just let him be his normal name. Y key, items, X key, magic, and then we'll say change equip. There we go. Had a good night. Had a good work from home day yesterday. Went out with some of my coworkers afterwards. Grabbed a bite to eat. Came back. Went to bed early, and now we're playing Breath of Fire. Wake up, warrior! Disaster has struck. We need the power of the dragon. Doing pretty good. Might need to turn the volume down a little bit so I'm not yelling over my own game. You'll perish if you don't wake up. This is a Capcom title, and right off the bat we see a picture of the protagonist from Ghosts and Goblins hanging over our bed, watching over us. The village is engulfed in flames. Everything is burning. We must go. But first, we must grab our things. Vigor potion. And that's missable. If we don't grab that right now, we will never get that. Oh, nice. I just got a new computer, and I actually very, very briefly toyed with the idea of, because we have a smart TV in the den. I was like, technically, a smart TV can be a computer monitor. I could just hook up my old PC, because there's nothing wrong with it. I just wanted one that could run Starfield. I could hook up my old PC downstairs and then use it as a gaming console, because I've got Steam right there. And I was like, maybe next time. I'll stop this fire. Rada de Cabra, Cohus Cuspo. My magic was once strong, but at my age, I can barely douse this fire. I am feeling a little under the weather today, so hopefully it's just the cold air, weather changing. This building is safe from the flames for the time being. The fire is so intense, it doesn't seem natural. Let's go. Esma's magic will hold the flames long enough for us to escape. We woke up surrounded by flames. What have we done to deserve this? Same thing. This building is safe from the flames, but for how long, I don't know. We don't know what caused the fire. Luckily, the people here are safe. Our faith is in Sarah. Her magic will keep us safe. Oh, the humanity! This is horrible! Stream! The dark dragons are outside of the village. We're surrounded. Hello, Sophie. How are you? The Dark Dragon family is scheming against the other dragon families. I hear that Zog, the Dark Dragon King, vowed to conquer the world, and his first target is the Light Dragons. Didn't see fit to raise that with the council before now. Zog is an evil fool. Why are they trying to destroy us? Zog fears us. He doesn't know that we've lost the power of the dragon. I won't sit by while they attack us. I say we act now. If we can't escape, there's only one thing to do. Fight. I must use my magic against the forces of evil. Let's go. Wait. We are too weak. Our group will be devastated by their powerful army. Yeah, but we can go out into the wilderness and we can all fight slimes and level up. We can't give up. Let's show them the spirit of the dragon. Come on, Sarah. Let's go. No, I must do my part on my own. I just had a great idea for a video game. For like an RPG. What have you done? I've turned him to stone so that the fire will not affect him. Remember our mission as members of the Light Dragon. Oh, remember our mission as... There you go. Stone or not, they'll still find us. Shut up, old man. Yes, I have streamed this one before, Sophie. It was requested by Tomcha as a Bring Back a Classic. Well, he did a Bring Back a Classic, and he wanted something. He wanted Rings of Power, which I was already going to play. And then he said Breath of Fire, and I was like, well, Breath of Fire is a mega classic because it's a longer game. And he was like, oh, I don't have that many points. And I said, I'll do it. I've been wanting to play Breath of Fire again. No, why does it have to be you? Yes, it is in the Switch, the Virtual Console as well. Breath of Fire 1 and 2. We've suffered enough. I'll take care of the Dark Dragons. Be strong. When you're a warrior, you'll bring peace to the world. Take care. May the power of the Light Dragon prevail. I'll try to distract the Dark Dragons. Hey, someone's there. And then she just started blasting. She has the power of the dragon. Take her to the commander. We'll search the area later. We must take care of her now. Sir, we've captured a light dragon. You set fire to our peaceful community. What do you gain from this? She has a point. My orders were to eliminate all light dragons. I always follow orders. I'm just doing my job. Please don't blame me. Whoa! Our village has been destroyed. Wow, you're strong. Come on. Zoom zoom. I can't let you interfere with Zog's plans. Nothing personal. We will stop you. I don't think so. We have the goddess keys. The goddess keys? You're a pretty good scrapper. Too bad you're on the wrong side. Don't come any closer. What will you do with Tyr, the goddess? It's all over. Take this, slime. You didn't even flinch. Hang on. Oh, shoot. Come on. Is that all you've got? Ha ha ha. All right. Read the little scrawl text silently while I plug in my laptop. When the dragon family was at the peak of its power, a goddess of desire appeared. The goddess Tyr granted wishes. The dragons fought each other for her power. Something's happening. I can't see it. When the dragon family was at the peak of... Okay, we're still there. Okay. I gotta push a button to advance it. Okay. Tyr encouraged the fighting and watched the war between the dragons escalate. When the world was at the brink of destruction, a warrior stepped forward. The warrior battled Tyr with his 7 companions and locked her up using 6 keys. These goddess keys were scattered throughout the world and hidden away. The light dragons balanced the power of the family, and peace reigned again. I bought a desktop PC. Desktop. I had another one that was good, that I bought maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago, but it couldn't play Starfield. That's really the only reason I got a new one. And Calrea needed a new computer, so I bought this one, and then I gave her my old one to use because her laptop was pretty pitiful. What's going on? What happened to Sarah? Sarah saved us. Chief, don't you think that we should fight for Sarah? We renounced the dragons. Their battles aren't ours. We must fight for Sarah and the pride of the light dragons. We must think of survival. Soon this place will be in ruins. No! So help me God, I'll tear this whole town apart. The warrior of the dragon is only a myth. We must escape now. I know that I should try to stop you, Ryu, but I can't. Take this. It's not much, but you can use it for equipment. You take 300 gold pieces, and the story begins. I'm the Dragon Lord. I protect those who take on the mission of the hero. I'm here to record your journey. Journey has been recorded. Good luck. Town is destroyed. Only these items remain. Do you need anything? Yes. Man, it's like being in Breath of Fire again. Or in Rings of Power again. There we go. So we're not going to buy any... Okay, I need all those stacks. We're not going to buy any gear here. Because we'll be able to get free gear in the next area. Yay, Calrea. And of course, it's like the worst encounter I could get. That'll be a level up at least. Boom. Oh, no it won't. Poo on you then. Fleas. Nope. Damn. I might... Oh my god, I'm just gonna die right now, guys. This is my life. I should have used marbles. I should have used Marble 3, but I was like, I'll pick up some XP along the way. No, you'll just get your ass handed to you by the double bull encounters. That's okay. That's why we bought herbs. Give me a crit. F the what? Why are we Fing the banks? Hang on. I gotta see why we're Fing the banks. Oh no! Hang on. Oh. Oh. That too. Anyway. I didn't know if somebody was talking about banks when I wasn't looking. I don't have the text overlay today, so I'm having to look at my laptop to see what y'all are saying. What are we gonna do about these stinking monsters? We need a strong fighter to chase the creatures from the castle. The Dark Dragon family destroyed my kingdom. I must now rebuild. I don't fear the Dark Dragons. A strange mist has surrounded us and protected us from the forces of evil. Do 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 do. Sippies. Okay. So we're gonna come back to this area and we're gonna use these springs to gain some experience points. But first, we're gonna progress through the castle. We could have bought gear in the starting town with the money they gave us, but we can actually get a full set of upgraded gear for the hero here, which is, I think, actually better than the gear that you can buy. Hat on? Oh, all I have in my ring's a power hat. Hang on a second. you go. Well, obviously I'm biased because it's it was the first Super Nintendo game I ever had as a kid. When I got my Super Nintendo, they didn't have any of the ones that came with Mario World left. I had one that just came with no game, and my grandmother let me pick a game, and I had seen this one in an episode or an issue of Nintendo Power, and I thought it looked cool. And other than like Crystalis, I had never really played any kind of an RPG before, and Crystalis isn't really an RPG in the way this is an RPG. So I had never played like a Final Fantasy or anything like that on Nintendo. So, so obviously there's some nostalgia there, but it's a game that, like so many good games out there, they really did not do a good job of explaining the mechanics in the game. There's some stuff like very few enemies have elemental weaknesses. I don't think any of them have elemental resistances, but there's a lot of little cool secrets and things in this game that just aren't explained. You just kind of have to find them. But it's a very solidly done RPG. I would say one of the things I really like about it is that every character is valuable in some way. Like every single character, you have a full party of 8 characters, including your hero, and every character that joins your party is used to gain access to new areas of the game in some way, which is required to advance the story. But it's also very organic for the reasons they all join your party. Like there's no like person that's just living a happy-go-lucky life that just decides one day to become a hero. Like they all have a reason for helping you try to stop the Dark Dragons. And it's a really nice game because every time you get a new character, there's that like, okay, now I get to go explore and see what I've missed before, and you can like go back to areas you've been in previously and find new things, find new treasures, things like that. And if you know about that stuff ahead of time, it makes the game a lot easier. I wouldn't consider this game very grindy unless you're trying not to use your dragon powers. The previous file on here that I beat the game on, I was level 22 when I beat the game. So, yeah. If you try to, I will say it does take a very long time to level up if you set about trying to level up your party to ridiculous levels. And the leveling tables are not consistent for the different party members, and the leveling tables do not necessarily increase in a sensible way. Like you'll have like 2 or 3 levels that are really quick and then one really long one, and then it'll go back to like a medium amount. Like the numbers are kind of all over the place. It's not like a steady like I need 100, then I need 200, then I need 400. It's something where it's like, oh cool, I gotta level up, it's been an hour. Or it's like, oh wow, I got another level up, I've only been, it's only been 20 minutes since the last time I leveled. Like it creates this like sense of surprise and accomplishment when you get a level. Yay, I gotta level up. And obviously you've played the later title. You've played 3, Phil. So this one, 1, 2, and 3 are all kind of in the same universe, and this one is like the original, the progenitor of the others. I don't want to give spoilers. Well, yeah. When you beat Breath of Fire 3, talk to me, and we'll talk about the characters that are in this game that show up in other games. Yeah. Yeah. Once you get across the desert, there's something. Well, you've beaten two. So this character that I'm playing as right now is heavily implied to be the elder at the bottom of the Infinity Dungeon in Breath of Fire 2. And the first party member that we're gonna get in this game is Princess Nina, and she's our princess from Breath of Fire 2's great-grandmother that you meet down in the basement when you have to get the power of the wing or whatever to transform into a bird. And she talks about how she fell in love with with someone that wasn't from their clan, and that's why the Windians all lost their powers of flight. Like, those two characters are the first two characters you get in this game. Well, when you get to that point in 2, maybe I gave you a spoiler, but eventually Nina 2 gets to meet her great-great-great-great-grandmother, and it's actually this character. Like, they brought back the character model for this character and just made her wings look a little darker, like she's older. We're gonna get one more level, and then we're gonna hit it and get it. Counter. Oh Lord. I'm thinking that I'm not going to be having the I would say wait, Philip, if you're still here. Just I would say you might find that you might find that waiting yeah. Just wait. just wait. Terms of service forbid me from saying anything else. Uh-oh. Oh my god. So hang on. Did you guys know that if you get on Google, on the Google search engine, you can actually see when all of Steam's big seasonal sales are gonna occur? I never knew that until a little while ago. I think that's cool that Steam lets you go on and type Steam sales or Steam seasonal sales, and there's a web page where you can see when all the sales will start and finish. which is really helpful for users of Steam, because the developers of games that are on Steam are not actually allowed to tell people when the games that they have on the platform will be going on sale. You're actually forbidden from telling people, like, hey, don't buy this game because it's going on sale in a couple of days. Something like that. So it's nice that Steam allows you to check that and see the dates, and you know, if you're a gamer on a budget, you can kind of try to like estimate when the next time that thing you've been wanting to play might be available at a discounted price. So we're level 5 now. I'm going to duck out of the castle. I'm going to save again. I'm going to try to avoid using save states. I tend to be pretty conservative when I play this game as far as like being running risks, but I did just almost die multiple times to a random encounter 10 steps outside of the first village, so we'll save. The marble 3s prevent any encounters from occurring for, I don't know, it's like 100 steps or something. And I'm not going to use them unless I'm backtracking, essentially, or if I'm ready to like go fight the boss. So, you know, if I'm going through a dungeon where I know there's a boss at the end, I'll use it. And then when we get to the final couple of areas, I'll use them, because the last couple of dungeons in this game, they're not grindy, they're just mean, because you start fighting enemies, like the random encounters start being like boosted versions of bosses that you fought earlier in the game. And space for healing items in your inventory is kind of limited. It's not as bad as like Earthbound or something, but it's enough that you know, when your healer has 180 AP and AP healing items heal 20 points per use, you don't want to be using an entire stack of acorns after every fight. Do what? Hey, Perth. How you doing, buddy? We playing Breath of Fire. I'm actually going to be playing, well, the plan is, and you know how I am with plans. The plan is that I'm going to try to do a single sitting playthrough of this entire game on, I think it's February 10th, because that's the start of the Year of the Dragon. And I'm not going to get too crazy with it, but I am definitely going to play a few dragon themed games throughout the year for funsies. A trap triggered a dark mist. Ryu loses AP. You take an antidote. So this is like good. This is kind of a good practice run for me. I think generally it takes between 16 and 18 hours for me to beat this game on stream. So if I get up first thing in the morning and play all day, I might be done by midnight. You have no reason to be in my castle. Ugh, growl! Get out! Slimeless humans, you think you can drive me out? Go ahead, try. Oh, right off the bat. What did the 5 fingers say to the frog? Slap. Something that they don't really make clear in this game, enemies do have phases. Like when you get them down to where they're almost dead, you'll get a message where it'll say like, "Oh, the frog, frog is crying" or whatever. And then their health bar just kind of like freezes at almost empty. And that little sliver of health, for some enemies, that sliver of health can be more health than they had on their whole bar. For other characters, it can be, very little. That's a phase shift. But there's also usually another phase shift with the enemies where once they get to like 50% health or something, they get like a boost to their attack power and stuff like that. Which is one of the reasons people will sometimes say that the boss fights in this game are unfair or mean. It's because they're not realizing that like when you get Emperor Zog to a certain level of health, until you get him down to that last sliver, he's gonna start casting a really powerful spell to try and kill you quickly. And if you get too worried about everybody being full health, he's just gonna keep doing it. Like you have to kind of you have to kind of know when to push on the battles and when to play it conservative. And you'll have battles where it's like all of a sudden the enemy starts going faster than you, and your battle arrangement's all messed up. Frog seems all right. This should take maybe 2 or 3 hits to kill him. Nope, 1 hit. Oh, I underestimated your strength, warrior. Couple of level ups. Boom, baby. Slimeless humans. The foul air is filtering out and fresh air is coming into the castle. Rob these fools. It's very interesting, this castle, because yeah, it's like destroyed or whatever, but the layout of the castle, most of the castles in this game, you'll see where there's like, they don't try to make it like a realistic number of bedrooms or whatever, but there will be like bedrooms off to the side, and there will be, you know, an armory and stuff like that. And this one, they're just like, it's just a bunch of windy hallways and a throne room with no chairs. Like, not entirely sure what the building planner had in mind when he designed this castle. They do have 4 separate vaults, which is nice. These big areas, I guess, could be like barracks for soldiers, maybe. The fake HP bar is what makes this game amazing. There is nothing like dealing 18,000 hit points to an enemy to get them down to a sliver, and then they start casting Meteor every turn, and you're just wailing on them, and nothing's happening because they have another 15,000 hit points to go. That's that's exactly how all games should handle their boss fights. You defeated the monsters. You're not a false hero. Who are you? That's Scar. It looks familiar. What a shocker! The Dark Dragons must have the Quake Control. There's a hidden palace in the Nanai dungeon. Find the Quake Control. Please go there and put an end to these quakes. Okay. So how are we doing on... Yeah. How are we doing on items and money? 11 marbles, 12 herbs. $900 gold. Well, we're gonna need a lot more gold. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, just remember, you could be in a game where you only get to see the health bar after you've beaten the enemy once, which makes all the boss fights just a mystery. All right, so we're gonna push on to the Nanai dungeon. Direct. Boom. Direct. Got a forest with a cave in it. There's a weird mark on the ground right up there that we can't do anything with yet. I don't know what you're talking about. He's gonna explode. I love that. if you can get the little huntable animals to trap themselves in a corner, they'll just start like basically they're always trying to maintain a certain number of steps away from you, and their AI will cause them to never come towards you in those cases. So if you can trap them in a corner where any direction they move, they'll be moving a square closer to you than they currently are, then they'll just blow up after a minute. It's so much fun. All right, and an attack. Tom's missing out on all the secrets. So if we come here during the daytime, this will be blocked. The guards will just tell us to get the hell out. So now it's like a little stealth section where you have to sneak past these guards to get into the castle. And there are some secrets to be had here if you're able to avoid the guards. None of them move. They basically just have like, if you get within a certain number of squares of them, they can see you. Unfortunately, they are guarding the entrance to the item shop, so you can't buy items here. If you want to buy healing items and supplies, you have to go all the way back to the first town. But hopefully we'll be okay. Because we've got... Yeah. We're going to need at least 4 or 5 herbs for the boss fight. So, maybe more if he's casting a lot of spells. 300 gold. Yeah, I'm playing 2 right now, Philip. I'm doing Earthbound and Breath of Fire. It's weird, because, like, there'll be times where I'm just, like, totally JRPG'd out, and then all of a sudden I'll play 2 or 3 of them at once, you know? It was funny, I was telling Calrea, I guess Earthbound is just my end-of-year game, because the last time I played this was in, December of last year, or January of this year, something like that. So it's like every 10 or 12 months, it's like, alright guys, time for some Earthbound. It's fun for me going back and playing these old JRPGs from my childhood, because I can pick out stuff that I can see things as like influences in Voltage, you know? Like I can see like, oh well, you know, this is in the game and it's just like something that was in Breath of Fire, or something that was in Rings of Power, or something like that. And it's kind of fun for me to go back and play all these games and realize what an impact they had on me. Welcome to the weapon shop. We need 2,250 gold. We're not going to be able to get that much just from this. But there's a chest in the dungeon here that I think has 650 gold in it, which would be enough. And we're going to get into some fights too, so. You're fine, Tom. I was just saying, Tom's missing all the secrets. There's not really a ton of secrets in the first chunk of this game, though. Other than I did make a deer explode, which was pretty fun. That just happened. If you're the enemies or the animals that you can hunt on the overworld, if you can chase one into a corner where whichever direction it moves, it'll be moving closer to you. It'll start just spinning in a circle because the game's trying to figure out where it's going to go. And then after about 3 seconds, it just explodes, and you can get the item that it drops. You are here. We're glad to have you, Tom. Oh no. Tri-beak. Is it this chest? I think this chest might be the money chest. Or it's a Thunderstone and, you know, whatever. There's not a whole lot of useless chests in this game. Like, you're generally getting stuff you need at the time when the chests are available. Yeah, there we go. There you go. That's enough for the longsword. And this isn't necessary, but it's really helpful to have the longsword before this fight that's coming up, because this guy is one that, like, once he gets into his second phase, you kind of need to end the fight quickly, because he starts doing like half your HP per hit. And it still becomes kind of spooky, even if you're leveled, because you're not sure if he's going to cast a lightning bolt or if he's going to heal himself. So it's like, if you keep hitting him to try cancel out his healing, he might just cast thunder 3 times in a row. But if you try to heal yourself, he might take advantage of that to do a heal on himself as well, and you lose progress. So he's a pretty interesting enemy. So I'm going to do so this is the buy. This is, it looks like a weight, but it's the trade icon. I don't know why it looks like that, but it essentially lets you sell your current equipped gear while buying a new piece. So that's a 14-point increase in strength. Get 315 gold back. There we go. Yeah. Everything else that's here for the hero is a downgrade. These are nice items for the next party member, but she doesn't really use a weapon, and it's not worth spending 2,500 gold on armor for her right now, because if she gets hit, she's going to die either way, so. Alright. So let's use an herb. Okay. Well, I mean, I've only been playing 45 minutes, you know? But, yeah, the hero is solo. I'll have a party of 3 characters in 20 minutes, you know? So an hour. But the later Breath of Fires always starts you with a party, you know? I mean, that's a lot of, if you think about it, a lot of JRPGs, you start out as a party of 2 or 3, and then you might lose somebody along the way or whatever. But yeah, they don't usually, I guess you're right, you don't really have a lot of JRPGs where you just leave town as one guy who's level 1, you know? It's a puzzle action game. Legend of Zelda, top-down Legend of Zelda games in my opinion, should be classified as action, or puzzle action puzzle games. For whatever that opinion's worth. Even a lot of the later ones, like Ocarina of Time and stuff, I would consider that an action puzzler. Yeah. And I was saying before you came in, Tom, I was telling Philip that, you know, you have a party of 8 characters, and they're all active at one time. Like, you can only have 4 going in a fight at once, but, like, they're all with you all the time. But they all have a reason for being there, you know? It's not just like oh, I hate those guys, they're bullies, I'ma stomp them. It's like, this person burned my village to the ground. This person, you know, took my wife and child hostage. Like, they have, like, very real reasons for wanting to stop the Dark Dragons, outside of them just being virtuous people, you know? And really, if you want to get really dark with it, most of them are motivated by vengeance. Like, they're basically, you know, they and in the later games, they try to portray it as, like, this heroic journey to stop evil, but like when you're talking in Breath of Fire 3 and 2, but really and truly at its core, this is a game about revenge. Your party is motivated by revenge. And I'm okay with that. I have no moral qualms about the motivations of the party members. You take an arm pad. Better defense, and it makes me faster. Alright, so we're gonna prioritize the Gloom, because Gloom can cast Thunderbolt, which does 20 damage. Attack spells generally just deal set damage in this game, unless there's an enemy that has a weakness to something, in which case it'll do 50% more, or 25% more, depending. You pretty much know how much damage you're going to take when an enemy casts a spell every single time. Which, on the one hand, is nice, but on the other hand is kind of sucky, because there's really no way to... There's a couple of pieces of pieces of equipment that you can get that have passives that reduce all incoming magic damage by 25% or 50%. And there's even a couple that reflect magic back at a fraction of the damage dealt. So, like, there's some spells, there's some gear out there where it's like, for every 100 points of damage you take from a magic spell, you do 12 damage back as just like a freebie, which isn't really a lot, but, you know, it's better than taking extra damage because you put on the wolf hat. This is my 3rd time beating it on stream. And like I said, this was the first RPG I had as a kid. I didn't have a ton of Super Nintendo games, and they were all JRPGs. So I would kind of just rotate through them. I'd say I've probably beaten this game like 8 or 10 times. Not as much as some other games. Well, I probably beat it half a dozen times as a kid. And then when it came out on the Game Boy, I know I played it a few times because I had a Game Boy Micro, so I could just like stick the Game Boy in my pocket. And I only had like a handful of games, and this being a kind of a short game, a short RPG. Yeah, I would say more than 10, but less than 20 total, if I include the Game Boy Advance version and the Switch version. Yeah. If you're a speedrunner, Link to the Past becomes a platformer, right? Because you're using all these weird tricks to bounce yourself onto platforms you're not supposed to be on yet. I wouldn't consider it a platformer simply because there's no jump button. Like, you can jump, but it's part of you just moving forward and your character automatically does it. You know? See, we're over-geared to fight this guy. Hopefully I'm not like 4 XP from a level up and don't realize it. Who disturbs my privacy? I'm taking over the world with this machine, and no one can stop me. Three hours later. Maybe I don't have enough herbs. I feel like sometimes he'll go before you and sometimes he won't. Never let your HP get below 20 on this guy without healing. It's just a slugfest. It's okay though. I'm holding back on my best option right now. Once he yells ARG, I'm gonna put him in the dirt real quick. We can move it along a little bit though. Come on, give me a crit, please. Oh, see, like all of a sudden now he's below half health. You see how the damage ticked up on that? Yeah. We're gonna heal. He's gonna cast Thunderbolt and waste my heal. No. I'm gonna pop him now. I'm getting scared. There we go. There you go. Now he's in the red. He's gonna start healing himself. And this is really where I should have used the Bolt Stone, was like once you get him into the red, use the Bolt Stone to get him closer, because this is like his MO now, is he's gonna start doing this over and over. Just healing himself when he gets to the red and then hitting you. And okay. Yeah, I might have fucked this one up. I maybe should have waited and used the Bolt Stone like I literally said I was going to do as I was using the Bolt Stone. Come on, bro. Don't be that guy. There we go. This is why we saved. If I could just get a slam on him, that would, I think put the issue to bed. No, you don't. Nobody wants to see that. If we're going to see any Breath of Fire 3 fan projects around here, it's going to be the one that we've talked about before of, like, what if Ryu, Ray, and Teepo just skipped town instead of going back to their cabin when they found out that the Mafia was after them at the beginning? What if they had just left and, like, seeing the party develop in a different direction? Like, they would still have Momo and Peko, but then instead of Gar, Gar just dies. Like, Gar dies at Angel Tower. End of story. And then Zig ends up becoming the strongman character that, like, pushes boxes and stuff for you. That's the vision. So now he's not going to heal anymore because it won't matter. So. How could this be? I've been defeated! Arrgh! So, I said I wasn't going to do any save states, but I do want to do one here. Just so you guys can see this. Ryu hears a strange voice. Run while you can, for I am returning. That's funny. Ryu hears a strange voice. Run while you can, for I am returning. The shaking is getting more pronounced. If y'all can't tell. Gotta keep waiting. Like, this is a hidden thing, but it's a thing that you really have to, like, work to see. Let's look for secret items while we do this. Unless I'm just completely crazy. I thought that there was like a flash of white light and you just get a game over after the third message. There you go. The party has fallen. There you go. I was like, okay, don't make me look like a liar now. The machine is generating a strange noise. You find a key, will you take it? Yes. Let's get the hell out of here. As we suspected, the device within the palace was causing the quakes. Let's go, Ryu. The king is waiting for us. You gave up Nanai to destroy the forces of the Dark Dragons. It was a tough choice to make, but the results show that you're a true hero. Travel east to Winland. There you'll find a cave to another kingdom. Thank you. You saved our kingdom. I never should have enlisted as a soldier. I'm not cut out for it. Any secrets? I'm looking for secret chests. Yeah, there's going to be, eventually there's going to have to be a playthrough of this where we just check all the squares. Well, I give up. That's obviously the only place here that they would hide anything good. Okay. Well, I called it, guys. In 20 minutes, we're going to have a party of 3. We're at, I don't know, 18 minutes since I said that. But yeah, a big part of this game is just not knowing where to go. And there are a couple of times where there's like very inscrutable switches that need to be flipped by talking to a specific person after something happens to get things to advance. Like when I was in the at the very beginning, if you don't talk to that one townsperson, that's like the 2 girls are standing right next to each other. If you don't talk to that one and then she moves and then talk to the other one, you'll never advance the plot. Like you just walk around forever. There's no time or anything. So there is a lot of that in this game, I will say, of like not knowing where you're supposed to go next. And they're encouraging you to just kind of wander around aimlessly and ask for directions. But but it's not like Rings of Power level where people are like, you know, just giving you bad information or sending you back and forth and back and forth. Like there's not other than one section near the end of the game, there's really not a lot of like the Great Circle Route type stuff where you're just going back and forth between 2 locations over and over. I'm looking for treasures. I think there's one over here. Earth key right up here where it belongs. We're gonna see a lot of Earth key usage. No, you're fine. So, a good chunk of this game, it's actually really funny. Like if you're actually talking to all the characters, healed up. If you're talking to all the characters, you kind of gather that Ryu's plan when he sets off on his adventure is he's going to go to Nanai, get a boat, and he's going to sail straight to the Dark Dragon's town, and then put a stop to Zog's evil machinations. And then Nanai gets destroyed. So they're like, oh, well, you know, you could go to this other town and maybe they have a bridge, or maybe they have a boat. And then the boat gets blown up. Like it's not pronounced enough to be like to become memey, but essentially you walk across the entire world looking for a boat so that you don't have to walk across the entire world to get to the Dark Dragon's main town. We haven't seen the king for some time. I wonder if he's okay. The king has refused an offer from the Dark Dragons. He will not betray the other kingdoms. You want to see the king? Please, wait here. Should I tell him the king is ill? No, if word gets out the king's been poisoned, our people might panic. Keep this quiet until we can get the remedy. It may be very difficult to find. Princess, our visitor has been waiting. Show him to one of the guest rooms, please, and ask him to stay. Princess Nina, are you going to look for the remedy alone? Don't worry, I can take care of myself. Morgan Freeman voice. She couldn't. Never has an RPG character made a more wildly incorrect assumption of their own powers than Nina saying she can take care of herself. I'm worried about the princess. I'll find someone to help her. Thank you. The king isn't here. Please wait until he returns. Thank you so much, Braycats. You must be tired. You can stay here for the night. We are going to play good, and we are going to win. I must do my part to save the king and the country. I guess in theory we should go talk to the king. Give him a kiss on the cheek. Karma is on the other side of the mountains to the northwest, but we can't leave the castle in case of a dark dragon invasion. The king got sick after opening Zog's letter. It must have been poisoned. The Wizard of Karma has used that trick before. Since my illness, you've done your duties well. I don't have much time. Good old-fashioned ricin in a letter, anthrax in a letter. It was the 90s when this game came out. Yeah, right? Old Teddy's at it again. Well, I don't think he was the Unabomber. He was the Ohio building. So we've stolen the equipment that was left in the chest by, or I don't know. Somehow Nina just bounced out of bed carrying all the gear that the main character had a minute ago, but such is life. Fast travel, go! We heard what's going on. You can't make it on your own. We won't let you through unless we go along, okay? The soldiers join the party. Gotta read a book? See you later, Philip. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you have a great read. Alright, so we've got 2 soldiers on guard, as it were. Oh. A cure? Noise. Oh, I missed an item back there. I want to go back. Oh. Suede gown. Oh my god. So much better. 150 gold. Yeah, we're going to have to backtrack, or I'm going to be worried I missed an item. And these enemies are pretty much worthless for experience points. I started to talk about this earlier, and I got distracted, which, you know, never happens with me. But the leveling, part of the reason the leveling is so slow, it's you know, they say the game is grindy. The leveling is slow in part because, oh, is this just a loop anyway? Yeah. Oh, damn it. Damn it, this was the right way all along. I was going exactly where I was supposed to be. I gotta get that chest over there. The XP gains that you see on screen when it's like you earned 12 XP, that's how much you earned total. If you have 2 party members, each party member got 6 XP. If you have 6 party members, everybody got 2. So the number of ways you're dividing XP goes up faster than the value of the monsters goes up. And because of the limitations of the game, the most experience points you ever get for a normal fight is 9,999 XP. We had to come back and get this because this is a key item that we'll need later. Damn it. So 9,999 XP is not actually that. It's like 1,200 a person. Or 1,250 a person. So... So we've got the E key in our inventory, and it can be used to do an Earthquake spell for free. Free Earthquake that deals 30 damage to all opponents, which is not a ton of damage. It's more than the soldiers are dealing right now. When we get Ryu, by the time we get Ryu back in the party, it won't be the most damage we're seeing per hit, but the fact that it hits everything is useful, and it's I guess the presumptive attack option for Nina. Because Nina's not going to be doing 30 damage with her sword until she's like level 40, okay? That's just life. So... it has... I think it's a natural progression of the game. I don't know that one is necessarily better than the other. I think that they both have things that they do well and things that they do not so well. I would say 2 is definitely harder. 2 has a longer storyline. The characters are not as fleshed out, and the illusion of party choice is a little disappointing because they give you a bunch of really cool and unique party members that are all basically useless except for like 3 of them. I would say all the party members in this one have a role to play more than all the party members in the other game having a role to play. Yeah. The story is definitely darker in 2. But yeah, that's something that always bugged me about Breath of Fire 2 is the fact that you have to have Ryu in the party. Okay? And then there's 3 healers, not including the main character. The main character can cast like Cure 1, or you could teach him Cure 2 as a quest reward. You've got Spar, who knows like a basic cure ability. You've got Rand, who can cure poison, and he has like a decent cure spell, but no AP, and he's slow as shit. Or you've got Bo, who can hit twice per turn, has really solid stats all around, and also learns every cure spell in the game. So obviously, like, unless you're having fun, you're always going to have Bo in your party. So that's your healer. Boom. Magic attack, you've got Cat, Nina, Spar knows a couple of spells. Sten knows some spells, but he only knows fire spells and has no like. Essentially, the game gives you this illusion that you can kind of go wild with the party members you want, but then there are party members that are so hyper specialized in a specific role that you would never in a normal playthrough not use them. Like people always say, "Oh, Rand is a better healer than Bo." Like you're on crack if you think Bo is not superior to Rand in healing. You are making a joke. Rand is a cool character, but he doesn't do as much physical damage as Kat or Ryu. He's really tanky, but he also, his healing spells are basically, you can cast like 3 spells and he's out of AP. So saying Rand is your party's healer is you're playing a joke. Same thing with attack magic. Like unless you get the hidden character, your attack mage is always going to be Nina. Like she's just objectively better than the others. She's got a wider range of spells. She's got more AP. She can naturally recover her own AP. And then the game forces you to have certain characters in your party for certain sequences, but it's not like this game where they can just be on the back row and you can like rotate them in to break a wall or whatever. It's like, no, you're going into this dungeon and you have to have Kat with you because she has to break this wall open, unless you feel like going all the way in, breaking the wall open and coming all the way back out with a different party. Like that's something I don't like about 2, is how they shoehorn you in to playing it a very specific way. Breath of Fire 2 Nina is the best Nina. 100%. Nina 3 is an agent of chaos in a world that craves peace and stability. Nina 2 is a wholesome person who exiles herself so that she won't bring disaster to a kingdom that hates her, and then eventually resolves to sacrifice her own humanity to save the people that ran her off in the first place. You should have been around more often when you were alive. Okay. Ever since I've returned from the dead, I've felt weak and faint. I wonder if that's normal. The remedy brought me back to life. I haven't eaten, but I feel fine. Why? Why is this hole here? Like, what makes her the best? I've only played Breath of Fire 4 once. I only played it through once, and then I went back to playing Breath of Fire 3. Breath of Fire 3 is my favorite Breath of Fire, but Nina 3 is my least favorite character in the Breath of Fire series. Except for maybe Sten. I don't know. The girls of the village are gone. Were they tired of the country life? Girls disappeared after the wizard began using his potion. My girlfriend's gone. Think she's met someone else? No. Perth is memeing. Nobody listen to Perth. You hover over that emote and you'll learn the truth about Breath of Fire 3 Nina. I don't think there's any items to steal in this town. I know she does. She is a good all-around character. I'm not arguing with you on Breath of Fire 4, Nina, because, like I said, I only beat the game one time. I don't remember particularly hating her. So. Alright. It's secret time, y'all. So, Tom wanted secrets. Here's secrets. Several of the trees in this forest have treasure chests hidden behind them. And you'll know which ones they are because normally you can walk behind these trees, these lone trees. But if you get blocked trying to pass through, then you know there's something underneath or behind the tree. I think there's a total of 3 of them. In terms of like utility as a party member, I could go with Breath of Fire 4 Nina. I don't know. I feel like she suffered from a lot of the same character flaws that that Breath of Fire 3 Nina had, where she was just really stupid for a lot of the game. I don't know. Like I said, I'd have to play Breath of Fire 4 again because I only ever played it the one time, like when it first came out. Plunk. I mean, not as stupid as Nina 3 though. Like, basically the entire first arc of the game wouldn't have occurred if she had not let Balio and Sunder out of their cells. Like, that's essentially everything bad that happens to you after you leave the first town as a child is a direct result of Nina being a dumbass. And then when she becomes an adult, it doesn't get better. She stays stupid. So you can't say, oh, well, it's because she was a kid and she didn't know better. No. She was a princess. She was in a better position than any other person in the kingdom to receive a quality education. And she is dumb. And then they force you to use her. That's the thing that really bugs me, is that they force you to use her. Like, for the dolphin fight, for instance. You go in to do the dolphin fight, and they put her in your party, and then they're like, let's go down to the beach and see what's happening. And you can literally, like, you can have Ryu, Momo, and Peko in your party go into the fairy village. The game will put her into your party and say, let's go down to the beach. And then if you leave the village and change your party members out and then go back down to the beach, it will swap one of your party members out a second time so that you have Momo and Nina in your party. Like, it's hardwired to make you use her in a lot of positions where you really don't want to use her. Which is that's the real unforgivable thing, is not the fact that she's an idiot, but the fact that they force you to have her for a good chunk of the game. Come on now, don't make me a liar, game. There's more than one of these secret chests. I think the red ones are poisonous, right? Nope. Red ones heal. Okay. I guess that's a secret. I guess some people might not realize that there are brown and red mushrooms growing in the forest here, and some of them will heal you, and some of them are poisonous. I don't know if there's any other. This is really the only, like, there's one other forest area that you have to go through in the game, but I don't think it has mushrooms in it. Not small ones you can eat. It's got big mushrooms that try to kill you, but... And it is only for the party member in front when you do that. Yeah. So you can rotate through your party members and get some health back. Good morning, Kale. How are you? Nina never left the party. Oof. She just dies so quick. And, you know, kind of like in... I mean, I guess in all but the fourth Breath of Fire, really. But, like, Breath of Fire has a tendency to prioritize... or to not prioritize magic damage in battles. Like, magic is generally less effective in the earlier Breath of Fires than there you go, there's a second one. than physical attacks. And the way they calculate the damage for magic in Breath of Fire 3 is not the greatest to begin with. So having a character that's hyper focused on magic at the expense of anything else, unless you get crazy with masters, you're kind of playing with a handicap with her. So, but to each their own, right? We've had this conversation about Nina 3 many times in the past. I think we've picked our position and we're gonna stick with it. But I will certainly not ever like harass you for using her. Whatever makes you happy. I mean, Yeleth made her into a physical fighter when he played through the game. And there's our third one. Okay. So a strength potion, a wise potion, and an agility potion. Unlike, I don't know, there I can't remember who it was. It wasn't a regular, but there was definitely a case where I was playing Breath of Fire 3 and someone was like, Mage Ryu, welcome to Amateurville, or something like that. I was like, what? Like, Mage Ryu is amazing. What's your deal with Mage Ryu? It's what noobs do. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm a noob. Now marvel as I go into dragon form for this boss fight and maintain it for 30 rounds while using AP in dragon form. I am. The only newbier thing than me playing Mage Ryu is somebody saying, how do I turn on the game? I'm that newbie. Oh, and that's the other thing too. As long as we're still beating the dead horse, Nina 3 doesn't even learn most of the best attack spells in the game unless you give them to her as a skill. Like, so even then, like, she's supposed to be the attack wizard, and she doesn't even learn a lot of, like, if you look at how many attack spells there actually are in the game, and how many she learns, like, I think Typhoon and like Lightning are the only two like decent attack spells she learns for a really long time. So like you're basically just learning Magma Blast from enemies and then giving it to her and saying, "Oh, well, she's my mage." Yeah. How do I turn on the game? What's the talk button? But on the flip side, you could blame the devs for that because of the master system. They, it could just be they were leaning really hard into the master system and figured, well, by the time you get to the point where you're like, damn, why isn't Nina learning any good attack spells anymore? They expect you to have given her a really good, like, wizard style master, right? So you're picking up the spell, because in general, other than Ryu, I think in general party members don't gain a lot of skills through leveling, really. It's just kind of weird with her. Alright, so we've cleared all the treasures we can get to from this floor. The 2 moon drops are important. We're gonna plan to hold on to those all the way through the final boss fight and never use them, because we might need them one day. Go away! Nobody's home! Wait. I did find out another interesting thing on my no transformations, no dragons, no fusions run. I did find out that buff spells do have a significant positive influence on your ability to complete this game if you're not using dragons. I always thought that the buff spells in this game were kind of useless. They're not. They make a huge difference. They make a huge difference. Hi, Momo. Hello. I'm reading. Oh, I was fine, Kale. I told you that wasn't the issue. The issue was that I was just exhausted. Oh, maybe we shouldn't have auto battled just yet. I was just really tired because my school schedule and my work schedule has just been kicking my butt. And basically, like, every weekday. Hello, how are you? Every weekday I'm either streaming or I'm at school until, 10 o'clock at night. Momo. Hello, honey. How are you? Hi. Here she comes, guys. Okay, here she comes. There she goes. Okay. That's it. She just wanted to walk on me for a minute. There you go. Hello. What are you doing? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We got to play the game, Momo. she, she's really confused by my hat. She's like, what is this thing? Oh, I probably should have healed. Hang on. God. Salty lemon juice while playing with a all physical party. Well, you know, I've only been saying for like a year and a half that I'm going to do a no AP challenge run of Breath of Fire 3. So you will definitely see it'd probably be the Pecco and Ray party again. I don't use Gar. Gar sucks. Only good thing about Gar is that he's almost as good as Pecco at physical combat. I think part of it for me is just that I like characters that are a little more self-sufficient, and you kind of have to babysit her, you know? You have to, like, work to keep her alive. And that translates over to other games, you know? I tend to try to build out the weaknesses of characters rather than emphasize their strengths. You know, I'll play D&D, I'll play a sorcerer, but I'll be a stalwart sorcerer with an 18 constitution and a 16 dex. And I'll, like, go out of my way to make sure I have extra hit points and armor all the time, because that's the weakness of the sorcerer. You know, every sorcerer can cast magic. I don't want to die if I get hit. Like, that's so for her, it's just she's so specialized in magic in a game that really doesn't reward magic as much as it does other things, that it's just not worth it to me. Thank you so much for the alert, Kale. No, I don't think it's weird. It's just your preference. Oh, I can get the overlay to work on this. Quit breaking my neck. I thought it wasn't going to work. I was like, let me try again. Yeah, there we go. Now we can all see what people are saying in the corner. I have to keep looking at my computer and missing people saying stuff. Should have hit the 0 button 2 hours ago. Attack up and learned. Nice. We're just going through, and the 2 moon drops are the main treasures, but, you know, I will. I'll be like, you, as the only trustworthy moderator, should have had your phone on Twitch with your Bluetooth in your ear and text to speech so that you could tell me. It's just that simple. It's just that easy. Alrighty. This is a staircase I took up. Did I just go? No, I came up mid-left. Okay. Have a great one. Have a great one, Perth. Always happy to have you here. I hope you have a fantastic day. Alright, so things could go horribly awry. Yeah, you're fine. Alright, there we go. I picked the right one. Woo! The coin landed on the right side for me. It's gonna be Nina-tastic. At least this Nina can warp. She can cast warp. Okay. Here we go. My brother was watching the gate. What did you do to him? Well, Zed's dead, buddy. Zed's dead. Petrify! Good choice. Oh, Lord. Why would you choose that for yourself? Power up! So before I got, I mean, that's it. You're like, oh, 12 damage, but I got a critical hit with him before and did 10, and now his regular attack does 12. So, yeah, it makes a difference. Jeez, he's beating the shit out of that guy. Put a little English on it. Probably should have saved those for a later fight, but I didn't. Mortea seems alright. Nina's like, no, no, no.
The fame is taking over.
I don't know where the music's coming from, but the fame worked. Thank you so much for the follow, Momo Plutonium. Hope you're doing well. I can feel the fame flowing into my body already. Much appreciated. Uh-oh. The bridge. Riftstorm. Riftstorm. Never heard of it. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you later. Be careful. Looking for the remedy? You'll find it downstairs. Cure. Took a cure. Here we go. Now surely we've leveled up enough that we'll be able to one-shot this boss with no issues, right? Oh, okay. Roguelite. Multiplayer roguelite. That sounds cool. Riftstorm. Remedy should be in this room. Let's find it and get out of here. Where are my specimens? Who let them loose? I can't let the wizard use people for his experiments. Ah, some unexpected visitors. Your arrival is very timely. Ah! Gas! It's the Xeon gas. It will drain our energy. That's right, Bird. Your powers are useless. Aww. Princess Nina and her soldiers will soon collapse. This is a Super Nintendo game. It's Breath of Fire was a 1994 Super Nintendo JRPG released by Capcom. It was later re-released on the Game Boy Advance with some minor graphical tweaks and updates, and you can actually play it on the Switch Super Nintendo Virtual Console as well. So you've got several different options on how to find it. Easiest one would be on the Switch. I'll distract the wizard. Please, go get help. Oh, that's not good. I'll protect her. I can't leave both of you here. Go, get out of here. Hang tight. What have you done? He got away. You're gonna pay for that. Aww. Aww. The party has fallen. Oof. Yeah, we do a lot of like late 80s through the mid 90s JRPGs around here, Momo. It's not the only thing we do. I do a lot of different stuff. I was playing Starfield, like a week ago. Working through two 94 JRPGs right now, Breath of Fire and Earthbound. Then we're probably going to do a Pokemon Emerald run, play some Magi Nation, and then that'll probably wrap up the year for us. And then we'll start out in January with Spyro and Crash Bandicoot and Lego Indiana Jones. All the stuff I streamed when I first started streaming. Gonna be celebrating the 3-year anniversary at the end of January. Your efforts will be in vain! Oh. As long as it's nothing serious, Kale. Uh-oh. No Golden Sun as usual. First of all, I have done a run of Golden Sun before, and it's too much dialogue, and the characters are just so dumb. Going back and playing it as an adult, it's like, oh my god, guys. The bosses are literally standing there with their swords in their hands, while the party members are all standing in front of them having like a 10-minute conversation. Like, it's I love Golden Sun. Golden Sun is one of my favorite RPG series. It's just a lot to read on stream. Princess! Rings of Power was more cursed than any Rings of Power run I have ever done in my entire life, Tom. We died to the first guy, Algoro. We got killed by Algoro. We had multiple beggars and tax collectors in short sequence, like as soon as we got to Division. Had a death from a random encounter, and I ended up losing like 20 minutes of progress because I hadn't saved. Made it to the point where we had the whole party and we were ready to start getting rings, and the game crashed. But it didn't just crash. No. Steam decided that the Sega Classics collection no longer works at all for any of the like 60 games that I have for that collection. It just doesn't work on my computer anymore. And then we spent like 40 minutes trying to do fixes. Like we were like I was going through and I was looking up the error codes and trying to fix stuff. and all the things that caused those error codes did not apply to my computer. It was just not working. I uninstalled and reinstalled the Classics Collection multiple times, didn't work. And then finally was like, okay guys, I guess it's time to just load up the ROM. Like I had a backup ROM the whole time. I just didn't want to start over from the beginning. Started over from the beginning, had some more jank. It was like 6 hours and I didn't beat the game. And then I was very tired. Kale will say that I was drinking too much. I don't think I was drinking too much. I think I was drinking too much to have 2 hours of Rings of Power left when it was midnight. Like, I wasn't going to be playing Rings of Power until 2 in the morning. So, yeah, it's the only run of Rings of Power that we never finished. And then, when I went to rename the video, I kept showing off the music, the Carmina Burana music, because I found out that the title music for Rings of Power is taken from Carmina Burana. So I was playing that at various points during the stream for people. And it turns out that that song, even though it's like 800 years old, that composition of it from like 1930 is copywritten, and huge swaths of the audio in the video were muted. Like, all throughout the video, there were all these chunks where just like 10 minutes of it was muted around me playing that music. So it was incredibly cursed. We're gonna play again next week. I'm gonna play it again. What is going on? Princess Nina has been captured. I'm always slurry when I drink. That's fine. This is the work of the wizard. We must send out a rescue party. But the wizard has the Xeon gas, which is poisonous to us. Perhaps the traveler at the castle can help us. And then he dies. Well, the issue was, like, I had my glass, like, I had my rocks glass of bourbon off to the side, and I was, like, sipping on it. And then we got to the point where I was like, okay, we got the whole party unlocked. We've got, like, you know, an hour left. I'm going to get another drink. And then I drank that drink and then found myself at the beginning of the game again. And I was just like, okay, if I had known, I don't pound 4 shots before I start a stream. Like, by the time I get to the end of the stream, maybe I've had 4 shots. But yeah, the timing was messed up on it. I'll round up the rescue party. You talk to the traveler. I felt fine the next day. I mean, yesterday was fine. We worked from home, and then we went to the museum. We had like a team building thing at the art museum. It was good. The wizard captured our princess. Help us? Thank you. You know they're dead when bottles of liquor fall out of their bodies. Red Dead Revolver. A rescue party has been gathered. Please join them outside. Okay. Hop onto my back. I'll give you a ride. Here we go, y'all. Shwoom! Oh, near miss. Let's fly. Warrior, rescue the princess. We'll fight the wizard's forces. Yes. Wisdom, agility. Yeah, they don't have a automatic sort feature in this one, unfortunately. I'll have to move some items around later. I want to test something. Oh, it's locked. Okay. I was gonna see if I could like go back across the bridge and just walk out of the tower, but they deactivated the door. Smart devs. The gas that's harmful to Wing Clan members is down below. I can't go on. Soldier leaves the party. Take care. For this part, I am going to use marbles. We got one treasure that we need to grab. I just don't want to wade through a bunch of bullcrap grabbing this. So this is going to be the Rang. Completely recovered. So the Rang is going to be the first of 3 boomerang weapons in the game that the hero can use to hit every enemy on the field. They are not generally as powerful as the swords that he has around the same time. You see there, it's like an 8-point drop. But the fact that you can hit everything is pretty useful for going through dungeons and stuff. You just basically keep a sword on hand and you swap it in when you go into the boss fights and you'll be fine. And then later on, if you're using your dragon transformations, it doesn't matter anyway, because you're not going to be hitting bosses with physical weapons anyway. You will die. A warrior from the Dragon Clan. The Xeon gas won't affect you, but you will soon know the wrath of my magic powers. See, this is what I should have saved the stones for. I can just kill him with a Dark Kiss. Wouldn't that be amazing? Freeze! Oof. You stop your shit. Thunderbolt. So he is faster than me. Okay, and Iki does more damage on a regular hit. Now it's definitely going to do more. He buffed his defense, but magic always does set amounts of damage, so that's not really going to help him any. Wizard grinned fearlessly. Wipe the smile off his face. There you go. Arrgh! I was so close to perfecting the eternal life potion. Thank you. Nina collapses and Ryu carries her up the stairs. I don't know what we would have done if you weren't there. Now it's over and we can hurry back to the castle. Thanks for everything, Ryu. Come on, I'll give you a lift. How about every boss fight? It's a little more controlled. Okay. Father! Princess Nina has gone to see the king. Oh. Up here. Huzzah! Ryu, the remedy doesn't seem to be working. Were we too late? I'm beginning to feel better. I'll be fine. I'm getting much better. Thank you, Ryu. You saved my father's life. So, you're the warrior who saved my life. What can I offer in return? Well, there is one thing. You wish to use the tunnel? Is that all? You could have asked for more. Ryu, I'd like to join you on your journey. Don't go, Nina. You'll only slow him down. Isn't that right, Ryu? I've made my decision. We can't ignore Zog's power. I'm going. If it's important to you, you have my permission. Be careful. Party member obtained. Alright, so now we've got a friend. Astral Ascent, platformer roguelite with a story. Momo, who just followed a little while ago, Momo Plutonium, is playing something called Rift Storm. That's like a multiplayer roguelike or roguelite game. Okay. The king has given me his authorization. Now, I can't get in here yet, but we will be soon. You know, I think it must have been you I was talking to, Tom, when I was saying I wanted to play either Till the End of Time or The Last Hope. Either 3 or 4, I wanted to play Star Ocean. Yeah. Alright. We've crossed the bridge to a new land. Woo! Okay. Nice little farming village. I am a master fisherman. I can fish anywhere, even where there is no water. This is Tantar. We are the Forest Clan. Have you seen the dry river? The dark dragons blocked the water. Need a boat to Scandi? You'll find one to the south. The rock that blocks the river is much too big for us to move. Yeah. The Tantar chief says, give up the treasure. That's not like him. The dark dragons will give the water back to us for our treasure. We don't want to give in, but the neighboring village is suffering too. The ring is our treasure. It gives us strength. So if we go across the river to the other town, it's a town of all like humans as opposed to wolf people, and there are several people there that comment that the chief of that village has recently started like speaking in support of the dark dragons and saying that, you know, we should surrender to them, give them the treasure, and then they'll give us our water back. And people comment about how unlike him that is. But we don't actually have to go over there to advance the story. We just have to come talk to this guy who says he'll make a saw if we bring the iron ore. And we've already got the iron ore, and now it's done. This will be quick. In fact, it's done. So we got the saw. So normally there'd be a little bit of walking around and confusion as to what you're actually supposed to do. And this, like we were saying before, this one is one where you do really have to like. Does the next town over sell a weapon you can already get for the wolf? Yeah, I think the shops are both on this side of the river. I think they have an item shop on the other side. The weapon shop's on this side. Which I guess in theory that would be good to do. Yeah, there's a short bow here. A scythe. Am I that guy? Not that guy. Yeah, so like we still haven't reached the point where you can purchase the longsword normally. When I was saying before, like, oh, we want to get this now because we won't be able to get it for a while. We still, if we hadn't have gone back out of the second dungeon and grabbed that sword in Nanai, then it would be the town after this, I think, before we'd get a longsword. Or maybe we'd find, I think maybe we find one as a treasure in an upcoming dungeon. I guess we can go over here. I'm gonna grab some acorns. I need acorns for AP restoration. This is Tuntar. We call the valley up north the Stone Cemetery. Interesting. Dark dragons destroyed the bridge to the port town in the south. Alright, so we can sell some stuff. Sell the dress. Sell the dark kisses. Suede. I'll hold on to these for now, but I'm probably going to end up selling them. Oh, what is it? Oh, I guess it's the teardrop. Yeah. And then we want to buy some acorns. Yeah, it's interesting. You can't. So you get the marble 3s in the very first town, and you don't actually see them for sale again for a very long time. So if you didn't stock up on them in the first town, you're kind of just like left having to walk all the way back if you want more. Highly inconvenient. Put that down here. So this is more than enough herbs. We're not going to need those again. Antidote. Acorn. There we go. Stat removal items. Yeah. You'll move easily in the woods with Bo leading the group. I feel like early on, it's more important to have a lot of acorns for Bo than it is to have a better weapon for Bo. Because Bo starts out with some really good attack spells. It's actually funny, I started to talk about this, I think on Tuesday, but if you are not using transformations, if you're not using dragons or transformations, Bo actually ends up being like the MVP of the game because he has a ton of hit points. He has his extra cure spell, which isn't enough to... The cure spell isn't enough to max out your health at later levels, but because the game gives priority gives the game gives turn priority to healing spells, so you always go before the enemy if you're casting a heal spell. It essentially lets him jump ahead of the enemy to save someone who's really close to death. And he's got decent damage with his bolt spell. And later on you can get the hero bow for him from a dig spot, and it's actually it takes his attack power up like way beyond what the hero even has. A big tree blocks the road. Ryu uses the saw to clear it. Like, we're talking like attack power in the 350 to 400 range at level 20. You overworked the saw and broke it. So this area, there's some ghost knights. I said I wasn't going to use it unless I was backtracking. I'm such a damn liar. I should stop telling people what I am and am not going to do in games. Because if I say it, you know I'm lying. I was saying I'm not going to use marbles on the first time through an area, but then I was like, well, I'll use it here, and then I'll use it here. And I'm going to use it here because with just the hero and Nina, the enemies in here can be kind of rough. Smack you around a little bit. It's a piece of armor I want to grab in one of these chests. Just don't know which one it is. And we don't want to spend too much time avoiding fights because Nina, we want to get Nina up to the level where she learns the warp spell so we can start teleporting around when we need marbles or when we need items. One of the interesting things about this game is, like, you can find items for cheaper in some towns and in some shops than others. It's not... I think maybe Bo can equip that. I'm going to hold off. So you can actually, like, save yourself some money by teleporting to certain towns to buy stuff and then selling stuff in other towns. Like, I think the town of Aria, the Gold City, they charge more and pay more for stuff. Same thing when you get to the Trader's Town in Prima. There's like there's like, I don't know, 10 shops in there. And literally, like, a shop here will give you 10,000 for something, and a shop here will give you 11,000 for something. It's just a matter of knowing which shops pay the most for which items. Nobody gets past us. We're very sharp guards. Woo! Another one. Ah, not too bad. Yeah, the bowman, he's got a lot of defense. You would think that the Lancers would be better in resisting melee damage since they're a melee fighter, but I guess the bowman weighs more, so he has more health or something. I don't know. Yeah. Truth. I remember, who was it? Was it Leon? Leo? There was somebody. There was a point where one of the people who shows up fairly often in here was actually working through a playthrough of this while I was playing another game, and they would come in and be like, "I'm at this point. What do I do?" And I'd literally be playing like I'm playing Super Metroid and telling them where to go next to fight a boss or something in Breath of Fire. Halt! Intruder! Another interesting thing about the health bars the health bars are not an accurate representation of the percentage of health remaining for somebody. Like, the first, it's almost like it's stretched. So, like, the first 50% of a character's health is like just over, it's like 2/3 of the bar, and then the rest is down there. You really have to like ignore the bars and just look at, keep an eye on the actual numbers. If you're just looking at the bars and saying, oh, but I'm not even in the red yet, like, you could die very quickly. Thank you, MJ, for the sippies. You're gonna run out of sippies if you're doing it because I'm coughing. I'm feeling kind of under the weather today. I think I might have picked up a bug out in the world yesterday. I feel like I got a little bit of a fever. I've been coughing a lot. Yes, you did. Do you want me to refund it and spit the drink out for one of them? This is all I got left. I gotta go get more. Hello, hello. How are you? Welcome in. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, that's this one. That's Aria. I'm probably gonna end today in Aria. Or thereabouts. Yeah, that's kind of a weird one because you have to go talk to a character that's like really off in a corner of the town to advance the story and you don't realize it. Alright. Let me go get some more mint water and I will be right back. Apparently, I've had a few frame drops today. 198 of them. Interesting. Anyway, here we are. We back. With the Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire! We're doing it. Alright. So that's like an amazing little FU from the devs. That chest has a trap on it that deals 50 points of damage to you, and it contains a wolf hat, which neither of our party members can use. We're about to get the party member that can use it, but the hat itself is actually cursed. When you are wearing the hat, you take 50% more damage from physical sources than if you were not wearing it. It literally debuffs you. It doesn't show. You can take the hat off, but when you're looking, so like basically what happens is you come in, you pick up the wolf hat, you get Bo, and then you look and you say, oh well, he can equip the wolf hat, and the stat boost seems to be really good. So you put it on him, and then you proceed to be like, wow, Bo takes a shitload of damage. Why is Bo such a sucky party member? Hey, absolutely. Thank you so much for being here, MJ. I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a good weekend. But the game basically, and a lot of people that have played this game are operating under the belief that Bo is just a terrible party member because he takes a shitload of damage. And it's actually that you've been gaslit by the devs into putting an item on him that makes him take more damage. And not only that, but if you're looking at pure numbers, like on the stat screen, the next helmet that you get that appears to be an upgrade for Bo is the skull hat that you find in the catacombs in the desert. And that one is also cursed. So you're like, oh yes, the stats are finally going to go up for Bo. And he just keeps taking way more damage than everyone else because he's still wearing cursed equipment. And then by the time you get to the point where he would start getting better helmets, you now have Karn's transformation abilities. And Karn's transformations fuse multiple party members into one character. So you stop using Bo as an independent character. So you just spend the entirety of Bo's career thinking that he takes way more damage than everyone else, when it's really just you've been had. You've been tricked. And I'll demonstrate it. I will demonstrate it once we get him in the party. You came to rescue the chief? Don't make me laugh. Boomerang. Yes. I would go in and see people playing Breath of Fire for the first time, and I'd be like, don't put the wolf hat on Bo, and they're going, what? And I would be trying to convince people that it was cursed. There's an old game FAQs page that talks about this, that actually lists out the gear that's cursed. There's 3 cursed hats in the game. There's the wolf hat, the skull hat, and the power hat. Amazingly, there's a hat called the cursed hat, which is not cursed and is actually a pretty good upgrade. Thanks for saving me. Let's take their weapons before we leave. Okay, so this is actually this is a secret here as well. Yes. Don't give don't give that item to him. So this is a cool secret. This I found on my own, and it actually really shocked me. Let's take their weapons before we leave. When I was a kid, I found this and I was like, what? So if we say yes, do you want me to lead you to them? Yes. Follow me. So we say yes. Lead us to the weapons. Step in here while I open the secret passage. They fell for it. That was easy. Pog will have a nice snack. You have to fight this two-headed treasure, who does get 2 attacks per turn and can focus fire on a single party member. Okay? He's not fun. Not fun to fight. But if you say no to him multiple times, you can skip that fight. Do you want me to lead you to them? Their weapons will be useful. We don't have any in the village. Do you want me to lead you to them? Their weapons will be useful. We don't have any. No. Wait! This is not the chief. He's an imposter. I came in from the back and rescued the chief while you kept them busy. So normally what happens is once you beat Pog, he's like, how did you do that? And you'll see an arrow shoot in from off screen and hit the switch, and it opens the gate, and then Bo comes over and you meet up there. So essentially we just wasted enough time that we would have spent in the fight for him to break the wall down and come join us. I came in from the back and rescued the chief while you kept him busy. I was just messing around before. Now we're gonna rumble. And I love that they put that in the game. I love that. E-key. Fort. Fry. Oh, Bo. You beautiful bastard. Garg! Oof! No, thank you, please. I know that first hit, some people were like, damn, well, Bo took a lot of damage without the hat on. No, this guy just hits like a dump truck, is what it is. And imagine fighting him coming off of another fight against an enemy that hits you twice per turn. Ryu reaches level 11. Not okay. Bo leveled up. You've won the battle, but not the war. The river is still dry. They were searching for the ring. Let's find a way to remove the rock. Zog is also my enemy. Let me help you fight him. Bo joins the party. Yeah. The E-key does, and then there's a whole lot of weapons in the game that can be used as items in battle. That essentially, like, you almost don't need Blue in your party, because you can get so many weapons that just cast magic for free that she's not needed. Yeah. So he's got, so you look at it and you're like, oh, that's a good upgrade, but don't put it on him. It's a trick. And I love how there's only like one bow in the game that you can actually wear a shield with. And it's at the very end of the game, so Bo just never gets a shield. So we got another secret up here. It appeared to give you an extra 9 points of defense, but it also applies a passive debuff where you take 50% more damage from all sources. Put it on for the sake of the trick. Oh, just to demonstrate? I can. Alright. So there's a secret right here. A white antler. Which, you can get white antlers normally. You can't buy them. There's like 4 or 5 in the game that you can pick up for free, but you do need one for a quest much later in the game, and it's just useful to have. It restores your AP to full on one party member, so it's nice to have the free one. Here. And Pog's just gone now. I don't know what happened to Pog. He just vanished. Alright. So... No. No, watch. So I'm gonna defend. So we're gonna just defend and see if we can get him to hit Bo. So that's, while defending, Bo took 28 points of damage there, okay? So let's kill him. Now find another midget to hit Bo. I guess for maximum proof we should only do this with midgets. Alrighty. It's a shortcut coming back. Goo goo gaga, motherfucker. Thank you, Philip Schneider. Alright, so now we're going to defend. So we did 28 damage before. Please hit Bo. Please hit Bo. Oh my god. He's never gonna do it. 14. So that's actually more than 40. That's more than 50%. That's double damage. Now, obviously, there's going to be some variables in there, but yeah, there's not a 100% variance in damage on the attacks. That helmet was cursed. Which is why when you go to fight, the one that was really bad was when you would go to fight the Gremlin, and Gremlin would use his fire breath attack, and it would literally just one-shot Bo, and everybody else has half their health. Like, Bo just used to stay dead for the Gremlin fight for me. and him not being dead in that fight makes such a massive difference. If you just have Nina curing and casting Fort, and then just have Ryu give Bo an acorn every other turn, and have Bo just keep casting Fry, that fight is so quick. So, Wolfat is cursed. Yes. Sure. So now we gotta go back to the town. Maybe we won't. Maybe we won't make it all the way to Aria. We'll probably stop right at the stone robot. But we will get to see one more really good secret before we're done today. I think I can just go straight to the next town, but I want to make sure I don't need to talk to these guys first. Blurbs are worth a good amount of XP. That's the fight you want in this area. They're really easy to kill, and they're worth a decent amount of XP per kill. And there's no sense in buying a weapon for Bo because we're going to get a really, really good one in the next dungeon. So... that is good music. The Dark Dragons will give the water back to us for our treasure. We don't want to give in, but the neighboring village is suffering too. Ba-da-da-da, da-da-da. Now let's go talk to these folks. Dark Dragon sent a double of the chief to cause trouble. Been getting a lot of headaches lately. You seen the stone robot to the north? Double of the chief? That crazy plan almost worked. The stone robot can move the rock. Look for the robot's secret in Agua. Oh, there's another picture of, that's Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins. Later on in the, probably next stream of this, so next weekend, we'll see Chun-Li from Street Fighter. They have a cute little like chibi version of her done in this like character sprite style, doing her little 100 kicks thing. There's actually, I don't think I'm going to demonstrate it, but you can look it up. There's actually some dev codes, like dev modes that you can unlock by naming your main party member after different characters from Street Fighter. Like, I can't remember if it's in the Super Nintendo version as well, or if it's just in the GBA version. I'll have to look into it. But if you name your if you give your character certain names that are all like names from Street Fighter characters, the game will put you into specific parts of, like, it'll put you at different progressions of the game. So like, one code will set your entire party to level 35. You've got everybody unlocked, and you're outside of the Dark Dragon's castle with 6 keys, stuff like that. So you can essentially skip to like later portions of the game and then start from there for bug testing or whatever. So we're back where we passed through with Nina before, Nina and the soldiers, but now we can get through the woods. And get to that floating castle that was just to the north. So wait till it gets dark. Uh-oh, now the zombies have all turned a different color. They've gone berserk. This is the hour of the zombies. The wizard's potion turned the dead into zombies. So we're dealing with zombies in Breath of Fire and Earthbound right now. Rid us of the zombies and I'll tell you about Agua. Protein B. Now that is a useless item. The protein items are supposed to buff you, but I don't think they actually work. So, like, this is one where I would get stuck as a kid. I'm like, why won't they move? But because you have to talk to that guy first. The wizard's potion turned the dead into zombies. So there's somebody that we have to talk to that will advance things, and then when we talk to that zombie, he'll let us into the there's like a hidden area. Might have to be here during the day first. The zombies have eaten our animals. I fear we'll be next. Water from the spring in the southwest cave will make you feel better. Do you know about Agua? The chief said something about the goddess. A couple sold items like the water jar. It will hold vast amounts of water. Maybe that'll do it. Let's talk to these people upstairs. If that doesn't work, we're going to have to rest and then talk to everyone again. Wizard's potion has tainted the soil. Now zombies run free. Something called the cleansing water that might save the soil. Yeah. I'm hoping that you can talk to them at night and not, it doesn't have to be during the day, because I don't want to have to rest and then wait again. But all the villagers are holed up in the 2 big houses at the north end of town. You want the water jar to clean the soil? My zombie husband will go away. I must leave now. The cleansing water will restore the village. I'll miss you, but if you insist... The cleansing water is in the cave to the west. Use the water jar under the tomb. Water, 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 water. What are we gonna do? Oh, not these trees. These trees are too powerful. Only these trees can be passed through. Time for sippies. Thank you, Big Doof. Thank you, V-Doof. Okay. So, while we're down here, I do want to go back to the first town because we've actually done a loop and we're now at that spot just above the castle that we freed from the frog. Where I said there's a cave up there, and then there's a mark on the ground. Like with Bo, we can kind of shortcut down here. I want to get some more marbles. I think I might have one left. Yep. Looks like I planned it out perfectly. I don't think you can get them in this town. We'll check on the way back. I know you can get them here, so... Only these items remain. Do you need anything? I think the wolf hat sells for 666 gold. Nope, 599. Never mind. I was gonna say that'd be a fun little extra joke about it being cursed. Yeah, see, like right here, these people will give me 2,700 gold for 3 cures, and in Windland they were gonna give me 3,000. So that's what I was talking about, where stuff sells for different amounts in different towns. Same thing here. These were going to sell for 10,000. They sell for 9,000 here. So they pay you 10% less for stuff here. So I guess the wolf hat would have sold for 666 gold pieces. Huh. I don't want to restart because I haven't saved in a little bit, but yeah. So shame that I couldn't show off the joke there, but almost positive that they do sell for that much. Marble 3, Marble 3. Is it intended, or is it just some guy being really overworked? Probably a little bit of both. Probably a little bit of both. Now let's go back to Camlon and see how they're doing. What? Flew into the arrow and didn't get hit. I always thought it's kind of messed up. They rebuild this place so quickly, but they don't volunteer to help the next town over. They're like, nah, sucks to be you. Relax and have a good time. This statue is a gift from the king. Ryu, close your eyes. It's Ryu. You're our hero. Yeah, so they built a statue of me in the town square, but they couldn't be bothered to go fix my house. I appreciate you requesting it because I've been really enjoying it, Tom. It's a good game. Marble 1, good find. That's a free critical hit. Yeah, they do not sell them here. But you see, they do sell stuff for cheaper. See? The herbs, before the herbs were 9 gold each in Drogon. They're 8 here. The packs of 9 were 81, now they're 72. The acorns are 20% cheaper. I think they're 24 instead of 30. So you do have to kind of pay. And then the cures. The cures were are 1,600 gold here. They were 1,800 in the other town. And they sell for even less. See? Just loot these last couple of houses. Wise potion. The constantly changing music is a little jarring. That's something in Voltage. When you're going in and out of buildings, I was never a big fan of the like sharp music shifts like that. So other than like shops, like if you just go into a house inside of a town or something, it keeps playing the same music. It just adjusts the volume. So it's like louder outside than it is inside. But it's not like constantly flipping back and forth like that. Look at these guys. Damn. The restoration of the kingdom is almost complete. That would be a fun animated emote. This little juggler guy. Just like, blah! Juggling 20 balls at the speed of light. Anyway, back to adventuring. Uh-oh. I'm gonna use a marble. I want to try and hunt this guy. That's a group heal for like, I don't know, 70 HP per person, something like that. Yeah, when you're hunting the animals, unfortunately, they do despawn after a random battle, and if you kill them and then can't get to the food before you get attacked, it does vanish, so I didn't want to risk losing it. A nice hat. Okay. We're in the danger zone. What a nice hat. Look how nice this hat is. Uh-oh. Could have been bad. So 210, so that was actually 70 experience points per person. It's the old Dragon Quest games where my style goes down. Oh yeah, I think that is a stat in one of the Dragon Quest games, is like your fashion or something, your style. That does sound familiar. Alright, Nightbot, dial it back. Damn. Ghost Knight. Oh! There you go. As long as you know what's important. Oof. These guys suck. These guys are really nasty. They can hit you with some decently damaging magic spells if they are so inclined. Now you stop that healing nonsense. Get dead. Teardrop. Huh. Okay. So we're just moving right along through the Cave of Blunders. Kilt, dead. I want to say it's like level 13 that Nina learns Warp, somewhere around there. So more fights is good fights. Alright. The water jar fills with water. You receive the cleansing water. Bo hurries to Romero. Bo sprinkles the water. Cleansing water purified the soil. Yeah, if you're good at the game, you don't need good armor. Right? Thank you, warrior. Use this tablet to enter Agua. Just don't get hit. I'd like to give you something. It's the water jar. I've already got it. Okay. Yes. Yes, I would like to rest. Thank you kindly. But we're not done with the water cave yet. We gotta go back. Okay. See, I'm a big fan of lots of HP and lots of stamina and as much defense as I can squeeze out of being able to do a medium roll. I'm not gonna do the fat roll, but the quick roll I'm not as worried about. I want to be able to know that like I can roll fast enough to get out of the way, but if I mess up, I'm also protected from a hit or two. that nice middle of the road route for me. So we're heading back in a second time to refill the water jar. The game doesn't really tell you this, and the way they have you just leave immediately, you know, you may never come back here again. You should, because you have to come back here at the end of the game to get the best dragon transformation. But, you can use the water jar if you fill it up here. It's like a one-time use full party heal. And you can refill it as much as you want. You just have to keep coming down here and getting it, and you do have to like also walk back out after the first time. So if you're willing to spend the 5 minutes or so and use a couple marble threes, you can jet in, get it, and get out. And it's just a nice thing to have because, you know, the moon drops and stuff are nice, but they're limited use. And having the water jar, just always having that one oh shit moment healing item is, as a wise man once said, a real game changer. Right. This is a real game changer. Thank you. Calray is still listening. She's paying attention. This is a real game changer. If I'm not mistaken, I said that when I figured out that you could just hold to the side to dodge in the Immortal, and it wasn't like a timed thing where like you don't have to time the dodge, you just lean to the left, lean to the right. Right? Yeah, Philip was saying earlier, you know, he's like, this game is, I heard this game is really grindy. I would say 2 is grindier, if only because, like, yeah, you do level slowly in this game, but you also level at a pace that seems appropriate for the challenges you're running into. Whereas Breath of Fire 2, like, you need to gain levels to be able to survive. You also will take a long time gaining those levels. You know? So, I think of the 2, this one's probably the more merciful title in terms of grinding. This guy's fast as fuck. It's because he's just empty armor. He weighs less than you think. You're gonna make dinner? Do it. Make all the dinner. Lurk. Lurk to your heart's content. Bronze hat and an apple. See, the bronze hat has the exact same bonuses, or close to it, as the wolf hat, but at that point you've already got the wolf hat. You get tricked. Yeah, indeed, that's a grindy game. Ugh. Terrible. Terrible. A water jar fills with water. Let's get out of here. The game was so grindy, I was only able to do 1 episode of it, and then I quit it forever. I was excited to play that. I had it on the Game Boy Color as a kid. No thank you. So now we've got the tablet, we've got our water. We're going up to the floating castle here. Bo read the inscription on the tablet. We got another mega secret coming up here. I'll call out for Tom when we're getting close. This is probably one of the bigger secrets that I know of in the game. I'm sure there's other examples of what's going to happen here that I just don't know about, but I'm also not willing to devote the amount of time I need to finding it. Boom. Oh, it's a good one, Vidoof. It's a good one. It's one that I found through sheer stupid luck. I was controlling my character and I looked away from the screen at just the right time for just long enough, and my life was forever changed. Oh, reaches level 11. Fuck yeah. Grab some treasure. Sun hat. That's good for La Hero. Makes him a little slower though. Come back up here and around. Oh, Cold Stone, nice. 40 free damage on the next boss fight. The other side, I think, is a treasure, but it also means I have to do the loop again, and I don't want to. Yeah! Nice. Thief clothes. Nope. Oh! Oh! Look at the boost! 22 points? Hell yeah! And it's right there. Like, you literally have to walk within 2 squares of that chest to progress. Like, that is just a take this treasure dummy. Alright, so this will get us to that treasure chest, and then we can go back. Another Cold Stone. Hell yeah. Hairband for Nina. If you remember, we could have bought that in Nanai, the town that got destroyed by the earthquakes. Not a great upgrade from the Nice Hat. The Nice Hat, she wore the Nice Hat for about 4 minutes there. And now it's got that's kind of a weird placement. I guess they figured that you might miss one of them or something. They give you a Nina upgrade like 10 minutes before another Nina upgrade. Uh-oh. Warhog. Dead. Bracelet. Another very minor upgrade for Nina. And the whole time you're going through here, it's like, where's all the upgrades for Bo? This isn't fair. Oh, there's an upgrade for Bo. There's also, once we get Karn, we're going to come back here and we're going to get, like, the best armor and weapon in the game for the hero immediately. But he'll essentially be invincible for the remainder of the game. Alright, so here's the mega secret. Give people a second to focus their attention. So on the floor of Agua, where you get the king key, if you come here, you can step into the wall, press A, and you'll receive a steel bow, which is normally not available for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towns. 21-point boost to physical attack for Bo. There is no better weapon for Bo that you can find until you get to Prima. Find or purchase. Just right there. Yeah. And I literally was like looking at my guidebook as a kid or something while I was walking, and when I like looked up and my character had vanished, and I panicked and started pushing all the buttons, and I got the little thing saying like, you got the steel bow, and I was like, yeah. That's a good one. There's a lot of secrets in Agua. Once you get Karn, you come back to this tower at the very end of the game. This is like one of the last places you go in the game, and the top area is way outside your level range, but it's also inactive right now. So once you get the thief, you can come back and go through all those locked doors to very quickly climb the tower. You can get the flame shield, which is like one of the better shields in the game, and it makes you take reduced fire damage. That's good for the hero. And then at the top floor, outside of the build, there's like a castle on the top of the floating island. There's a little castle with like some pools of water with statues. And on each side of the castle, if you go up and stand and look up at the dragon statue and search it, on one side you get the icy dagger, which is like the second best weapon in the game for Karn, and you get the life armor, which is the best armor in the game for Ryu. Like, it's like a 200-point boost to your defense or something crazy. Okay. So he's gonna do Fry. Attack up on Ryu. Ryu's gonna use an Acorn on Bo. Ryu's Ryu's gonna, and then we're just gonna keep doing this. We're gonna do, Bo's just gonna do fry every round. Nina's gonna cure whoever needs it, and Ryu's gonna alternate between attacking and feeding acorns to Bo to keep his spells going. Easy peasy. Hey, absolutely. Thank you so much for being here, Vidoof. Hope to see you again. I'm gonna be playing this Saturday mornings, probably into the middle of December. Should take me, I would say, another 3 episodes. So hopefully we'll see you again for more Boff in the future. Thanks to Tom, this is going to be our Saturday morning stream game for the next few weeks. Pow! Hype. Hype indeed. Couldn't remember if I needed to use an acorn or not. Yeah, the hit bars are weird in this because it makes you think that Bo is almost dead, but he's still got 50 hit points. If Bo loses, 25% of his health, he's like almost in the red. This guy doesn't have a second hit bar, so we're good. Well done, Ryu. You deserve the key. Search this pillar. So that's our second goddess key, the king key. Alright, let's head on out. We gotta grab one treasure chest that we missed on the way up. Boom. And you're dead. Should probably equip the Rang again. Watch it be an herb, an antidote. Alrighty. Iron Shield. No, that's good to have. That's good to have. Not terribly slow, but creeping up towards 100 defense. for the hero, at least. Yeah, once we get Karn in our party, we'll be able to just go through all of those locked vault doors, and it'll cut this trip down significantly. Cut through here. So we got to go back. We got to meet the chief in Tantar. Ansela. Herb. Nice. Okay, just cruising right along. Welcome to the inn. 60 gold per stay. Hey, buddy. The Dark Dragons will give the water back to us for our treasure. We don't want to give in, but the neighboring village is suffering too. Okay, so at this point, we got to go get the robot started up and use it to break the boulder blocking the water. I could play a little longer, but I'm kind of wanting to lay down. I gotta go do some stuff around the house, but then I'm gonna lay down. I'll be back tonight. Currently, I'm planning to do an Arcade Paradise episode that I owe Calrea, but that may change. I may do something else or nothing at all, depending on how I feel. But this has been fun. We've made a lot of good progress. We've had a lot of good conversation. This is the kind of stream that I always aspire for. Is just playing the game and talking about it with a bunch of people who love it just as much as me. So, let's get off of this screen. Let's find somebody to raid, shall we? It was fun. Thank you, Tom. Thank you all for being here and making it a really fun stream. Let's see. Tex running Zelda 2. Hash is doing Star Control, Star Command. Quex is playing a demo. Rig is doing Final Fantasy VI, no Espers. Let's raid Hesh because Hesh raided us on Thursday, and I wasn't at my best, so I want to repay the favor to him. Hesh. If you don't know Hesh, Hesh is awesome. He does a lot of retro like DOS and games like that. Not a lot of console stuff, but he's really knowledgeable about all of it. Both because he's played like everything, and also because he actually works with like coding and stuff like that. As I think he teaches computer sciences or something like that. So he's a really good guy. And I always like rating Hesh because that's where I'm going to be. Hesh is going to be my background noise while I do some stuff around the house. So thank you everybody one last time for being here. Big thank you to Momo Plutonium for the follow, Tom for the redeem once more, and everybody else who was here and just being their phenomenal selves and making this a fun Saturday morning for me. Sorry I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I would have liked to be able to play a bit longer, but that's what next Saturday is for, right? So hope to see you all again soon, but if I don't, as always, until next time, stay healthy, stay safe out there, y'all. Later.